All right, I'll bring us in. Are you ready? Are you ready for this? Are you ready for ooh? Are you hanging on the edge of your seat? What's up, y'all? Welcome back to part 2 of the introductions Hanoi series of Facts and Feelings Happy Hour. I am your host, Big Meech, and today I'll be interviewing my co-host,
Fire Angelou. I'm excited. You were excited last episode. I'm excited. Because I don't know what you're gonna ask. And so it's
I know. And then it's me. You know what I mean? I changed my glasses for this. Can you tell? These are my Peter Potters.
Harry Potter?
Yeah. My nephew used to call him Peter Potter. That's why I just call it.
That's adorable.
I'll watch it Peter Potter again. So yeah, I got these on. So
it make you feel astute?
Yeah, I actually started to give you shoulder pads. But I was like, she's gonna say I'm going too far, like I always am.
Let me tell you something. I saw that picture of Kanye West with them shoulder pads and them blue socks, and I said,
"Wait, I didn't see help."
Yes, it's something.
Hell nah, man.
What is that? What does that?
Easy. He want to be Hammer Time so bad.
It's something. I don't know. I mean, what are those blue sock shoes? Like, come on, man.
Do we even know that they're shoes? Lord, my boy Ye want to be a inmate so bad.
A who?
Or patient. An inmate or a patient. One of the two, somewhere in between.
All right. Right. Go back and forth.
All right, let's get into it. All about fire. Get ready. We're gonna take you on a ride. Tell these people, just to start off the rip, where you from? Rip your city. I know they know because we talk about it all the time, but let's get into it for the ones that don't.
Yeah, but you know what's so funny about that is that people that are from Atlanta, when you say you so Atlanta, they probably be like, man, it's always an asterisk. So I was born on the west side of Atlanta. So Atlanta. So like Bankhead, the west side. And so
where's you from?
Yeah. Everything y'all did, been done. But anyway, so so grew up on the west side of Atlanta, Bankhead. And then I lived over there till I was about maybe like 8. And then we moved to Cobb County. And so I went to probably like the other half of elementary school and everything else in Cobb. And so, people be like, that what I'm ready to say, Cobb County.
It's not Atlanta.
And everybody was mad when they moved the stadium from Atlanta to Cobb. I'm from
Atlanta.
I'm from Cobb. But if you're not from Atlanta, I'm from Atlanta. So,
Yeah.
And then, Outkast said it's not where you from, it's where you pay rent. And I pay rent Zone 3, Cleveland Ave. So,
and we get it. You didn't have a choice. I think your family probably, moved you out of there, but you was there till you was 8. I get it. It's been your heart all your life. Yeah, I get it. Your birthday and sign. I know we talk a little bit about astrology, and if you subscribe,
my birthday is coming up, and I definitely do follow astrology. Not to the point where I'll be like, I'm kicking you out of my life because you're a Scorpio or whatever.
It's funny that you use that for an example, because if anybody were to get kicked out of someone's life, it would be because you're
a Scorpio, right? But because I've had some experiences, but I am a Gemini. My birthday is June 12th, so it's coming up. I'm really excited. And then my moon is in Leo, so that's why we have a lot in common. So like your sun sign, which is Gemini for me, is like who you aspire to be, like the show that you put on, like on the surface. Your moon sign is who you really are.
And how you show up to other people is what they say.
Yeah, exactly. And so then my rising, which I'm not really sure what that means, but it's in Scorpio. I think it's how you deal with your emotions, which would make sense. Because Scorpios are all dark and elusive, and that's how I am with emotions. But anyway, so to an extent, I am into like astrology, and I'm into a bunch of shit that a lot of Black people don't fuck with. But yeah, so Gemini, gang, we in Gemini season. You know what I mean?
Got your crystals.
Yeah.
What's your favorite crystal?
Huh?
A random question. What's your favorite crystal?
Oh, I don't know. Well, I got one in my pocket now. Bam. It's citrine. So it's like I think it's for it's for creativity and energy, and also like sex drive and all that stuff.
Oh, keep that on you. Keep it on you. Keep it on your person. I see.
Listen.
Come on. What did you aspire to be? Like as a kid, what did young Fire say? When I grow up, I'm gonna be.
So stereotypical. I said I wanted to be a marine biologist.
I don't know if that's stereotypical.
Is
it? I think doctor and lawyer is pretty much on
well, yeah, that. But then there's a segment of, I think it might just be Black girls. I don't know how it happened, but marine biology took over. So if you ask me, probably 2nd grade through 5th grade, I was going to be, maybe through 6th grade, I was going to be a marine biologist. I don't know if y'all had this in your curriculum at school, but this stamped it for me. This was when I was in 6th grade. Only one other person I know remembers this documentary. But there was a documentary that we had to watch in 6th grade, and it was called The Voyage of the Mimi. Have you ever heard of it?
I feel like Mimi is ringing a bell.
So it was about a whale, a humpback whale. And it was a whole series about humpback whales, and you learned how they eat and what I had to learn the parts of a humpback whale. Why this was a part of my curriculum, I have no fucking clue. In Cobb.
It's the fact that Ben Affleck was in that as a child.
Ben Affleck was in The Voyage of the Mimi?
Ben Affleck was the little boy in The Voyage of the Mimi. Blew your mind right then.
That is wild.
That's crazy. That's wildly crazy.
So crazy. Yeah. So anyway, so I just knew I was going to be a marine biologist. Now, today, I don't even know why I thought that, because I think so many sea creatures, I love the water, but I think so many sea creatures are so ugly, terrifying, disgusting.
And you're literally afraid of everything.
I cannot look at shit with a bunch of legs. Like, it's gotten to the point where, anyway, I don't need to go into my fucking isms, but it gets nasty down there. And I cannot imagine me as an adult swimming in the water and studying the animals. Will I watch it on TV? Yes. And sometimes it gets so nasty looking, I got to fast forward. Like, I can't. I don't know. But anyway.
It's so funny. The fact that you're like calling it nasty is hilarious. Like, the ocean animals is nasty, baby.
Yeah, it's nasty. I just feel like, anyway, this
man,
I'm just a little bit high, but it just
I was about to say, watching it on TV
it just reminds me of like aliens. Like, oh, they here. Like,
they look a lot of. I feel like
it should not be of this world. A lot of shit that's in the ocean should not be of this world. And so the fact that I wanted to be a marine biologist blows me.
And it's so funny. The larger part of the ocean has not been explored, so it just feeds into your isms.
Meech, don't get me started, because we have explored more of outer space than we have the ocean, and that motherfucker is here with us. We don't know what's down there, but anyway.
No worries. Okay, to keep that moving, because you were not a marine biologist, and definitely you did go into 2 other avenues of work. We can get into your D&I, but you're also a DJ. I want people to know that about you. Fire Angelo is that thing. When did that start? How did that become a thing?
Oh, man. So I've always loved music. Like, music was a big thing growing up. Like, I would say like it was for most Black people, but like it was really a thing. And so I just always loved like how you could put on a song and change the complete vibe of a space, of an event, your own mood. And so there was a DJ in Atlanta who has since passed, but her name was DJ Speaker Fox. And she used to always spin at L Bar. So this was a period of my life. So L Bar was a little small bar off Ponce. Like, it's a restaurant at the top, you go down the back, and it was just a hole in the wall ass space. But you would get there at a certain time, and like at the peak of the party, DJ Speaker Fox would get up there, and what she would do and how she would blend the music, mind blowing. White girl. Like, and I was like, man, I gotta be able to do that shit. I gotta do that.
And how old were you?
So at this point, I'm probably like at least like 28, 28, 29 maybe. And so I'm like, man, because I was in grad school, and then at Georgia Southern, this is how small Statesboro is. At Georgia Southern, people used to go to Applebee's. Like that was a turn up spot. Like, so it'd be a full blown DJ in Applebee's, everybody at the bar. And I had went over to the DJ. I was like, I want to learn how to DJ. And this was a guy who was DJing with CDs. And he was like, bet. He was like, I can teach you. He's like, my homegirl D gonna laugh at this. He was like, you got your equipment? I was like, yeah, I got equipment. Yeah. And he was like, bet. So you bring your equipment over. We're going to work on your equipment. Completely lied to this man. I had not one piece of DJ equipment.
Why you think you lied?
I don't know. Sometimes I just lie.
Manifesting.
I manifested that shit. So he was like, you got your, I was like, hell yeah. And so then I didn't tell him I wanted to be a DJ. I told that man I was a DJ.
Oh, wow.
Because I had been practicing DJing on my iPad.
Manifesting, baby.
On my iPad, I used to blend songs and I was like, yeah, I got an iPad. I'm a DJ. So then I went over to this actual DJ who's DJing with CDs. I had never seen this, no shit like this, because I'm DJing on an iPad. So I told him I could DJ and asked him, could I DJ at Applebee's sometimes? Obviously, I was drunk. He said yes. And he asked me when I wanted to come up there to DJ. And when we were working out the details and texting, he was like, so you got your controller? And I was like, what's that? And he was like, the equipment. And at that point, he clearly realized I was not a DJ. But sidebar again, me and my friends at Georgia Southern decided we were going to throw a party. Like we saw the movie Project X. We said we were going to throw a big ass party. You seen Project X?
No.
Oh, Project X is like these high school kids that throw the biggest party that the city has ever seen. Like everybody's at this party. Celebrities show up, athletes, like it went viral. And and so we said, we're going to throw a party like that. And they were like, and Michelle, you can DJ. You can be the DJ. Because I was always the person that made the playlist. I was always the person to burn CDs.
I bet you that's how being a DJ starts for most
always.
People. Like, I bet you made the playlist. So they think anyway.
In high school, I would burn CDs for people, right? And then I started burning my own CDs. And then I would be the one to make us, they'd be like, Michelle, we having a kickback. This is in college, undergrad. We having a kickback. Can you burn us a CD? Because I was downloading music off LimeWire, FrostWire, Napster, all that shit. And I still have a lot of that music now. So anyway, we said we was going to throw this big ass party. I said, I'm going to make the playlist and I'm a DJ off my iPad. The first song I ever DJed, this party was going up. Do you hear me? We pulled about $500 to make this jungle punch. And I mean, we had talked to all the houses in the neighborhood, got their permission. The peak of the party is happening. And I'm like, I'm about to turn this motherfucker up. My homegirl D had went to Warner Robins to get a speaker. She borrowed a speaker from her grandma, like an old wood grain box speaker. So tall, the speaker taller than you. And the first song I DJ was I Love Bad Bitches, That's My Fucking Problem. And that song came on and it was like, I love bad bitches, that's my fucking problem. Like, oh, on my iPad, I took my finger, I reversed that motherfucker. Because at the time my name was DJ Shell 32. That was my name. So creative.
Come on, so creative.
I had a logo. I paid for a logo and shit, everything. I had shirts. Anyway, I reversed that shit. The party went crazy. And
because you hear that
ever since. Oh, and so then also when I started DJing, I bought a little controller and I asked my homeboy Ace Boone to teach me like the fundamentals of DJing. So he taught me
like he DJs.
Yeah, oh, Ace Boone is an amazing DJ. Like amazing DJ. Like people, like he's better than the people you see at the club and shit like that. But he's a banker by day. His whole tagline is banker by day, DJ by night. He don't even DJ no more, but amazing. And then I went on YouTube, watched some tutorials, and then I've been DJing ever since.
Got you. So
that shit is crazy.
That is hilarious.
Yeah.
So to the same, staying on music. If you were to have like a movie score, or not even like a movie score, your intro to a movie. So just imagine movies coming on, you're the main character or one of the main characters. It's time to introduce your character. What song is playing for context, if you remember in ATL, when Nunu walks up there, boom, 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 Southern girl, bow, 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 we get down. What happens? We're introducing Shell. Screen opens up. What's playing?
The words are, she's a bad man.
Oh, Billy, boom, 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 boom. I had you. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah. Ooh, that's how you come on with you.
I made the face before because that's the same music that Shantae from Two Can Play That Game walked into at the start of the movie. Like that's the theme song. And I loved Shantae. Like I said, I'm gonna be Shantae.
Shantae. I ain't bad.
That was it. That was it. I majored in marketing because Shantae worked for a marketing firm. Like it was OD. But anyway, she's a bad mama jamma for sure. And imagine my surprise when I'm at Georgia Southern and I'm at a party. We turned up. It's like at a lounge. They play She's a Bad Mama Jamma. I'm taking over the dance floor, arms wide, bam, hitting this shit, boom. And then the Zetas come out of nowhere, clapping and doing all kinds of shit.
They got a little drum line mixed in there.
And nah, that's how they was doing it. You know, when they strolling like the Sigmas.
There was.
You know, all that shit. But that's their song at Georgia Southern. So I'm trying to take over the dance floor because this is my theme song for life. It has been for a while. And the Zetas come in, making all kinds of noise and causing all kinds of ruckus.
You have to look back and saying, do you ladies feel a step coming on?
Okay, you didn't ask yet, but Drumline is my favorite movie. So
is it?
It is.
I'm crying. That's definitely a classic though. Drumline is like that.
It's no reason for it to be my favorite movie.
We giving it. That's fine. Okay, I'm with you. So Georgia Southern, obviously mentioned a couple times. That's where you went to college undergrad, right?
No, I went to Savannah State University. My alma mater. My
say what? You say it's your alma what?
My
tongue got fat there. Tongue got heavy. Alma mater.
All right, don't worry about it. I do have a little bit of list, but we ain't gonna talk about it today. But Savannah State is my other mother, also known as my alma mater. And I went to Georgia Southern for my master's and my doctorate. I talk about Georgia Southern a lot because I did not enjoy undergrad the way I should have. So after undergrad, I worked for a few years and then I went back to school for my master's. And then I just got immersed in like Georgia Southern turn up, cool kid life. And so that's where I did a lot of undergrad type shit. I ain't even drinking undergrad. And so I did all of that when I went back to Georgia Southern. And I think I was 26, 27 when I started there. So I'm like the cool, older, semi.
Oh yeah. Student. You was on undergrad, you was off your Esquire.
Yes.
I did not play games. Too busy trying to make it out.
I was too busy trying to be a Delta. I spent all of my undergrad trying to be perfect.
It's a catch. It's a gift and a curse. I have the same story. Trying to be a Delta and not have as much fun as I could have. Exactly. And it's so funny because some of my classes just had a ball.
I just thought that and I didn't say it, but I literally was thinking, some of my line sisters definitely did the fuck both.
My best line sister, my BLS she had the time of her life.
You see what I'm saying? And I'm like, why didn't I think to do that? I mean, I was just got to get good grades. And, I did SGA. I did a bunch of stuff. I did like the stuff a parent would want your child to do in college. I do a lot of the other stuff.
Okay. So we'll give you a fun one here. You fancy yourself a sneakerhead, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
This is what we know. So what sneaker, if you had to have a sneaker that represents you, like who you are, if it says, hey, give us you in a shoe. And I got this question because I just watched Air and it was really good. And the way that they designed, his shoe was very much put him into a shoe. So what's your shoe?
Oh, this is such a great question. What shoe best represents me?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. I just got to go with right there on the tip of my brain, which is a Huarache. I love Huaraches. They are my favorite shoe. They come in cross trainer. They got basketball Huaraches and you got running Huaraches. And My favorites are the running and the cross trainer ones. But they are so versatile, right? Like if you look at a Huarache, you got like different elements. Most of the time you're going to have leather and cloth, and you're going to have that rubber thing that kind of go around the ankle, and then it's a snug fit.
It is.
If you know me, I give great hugs, right? And so that's a thing for me. It's like how I connect with people. And so I would say that Huaraches best represent me. That is such a great question. That is such
that is a very interesting answer. Uncommon, really. And I think I
What
like
do you think some people would say?
What color Huarache?
Oh, now I'm gonna go with the original colorway, which is mostly white outsole, royal blue, and lime green. Yeah. What would you say? Now I'm curious. What would you say? What's your answer?
For a shoe that best represents me?
Yeah.
I gotta go. I have to go Jordan 1. I got to.
Yeah. High.
Yeah. Have to go. It's classic. It's hyped up. It's but hyped up, but fits the bill. You get what I mean? Like it lives up to the hype.
Dress up, dress down, versatile.
Dress up, dress down. It's versatile. It does so much. It is certainly a jack of all trades. So Jordan 1 is going to be the thing.
Okay.
So we like all things Blackness. What would you say? Which iconic Black character represents you the most?
Yeah. Okay. Iconic Black character best represents me. I don't know. I can't say that this person is iconic.
Okay.
This character.
As long as we know him.
Because it's niche. It's so niche. You're gonna know. And it's Nova from Queen Sugar.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. I have never felt, and Issa.
I'll double down on Issa. Nova is interesting. Give me some more.
That was a thing. Maybe it's like when we talk about sun sign, moon sign. So maybe Issa is what I'm giving, and Nova is what
you aspire to be. I get you.
Because
I can give that.
Because a lot of people, when Misadventures of Awkward Black Girl came out, the first person to ever put me on that and say, you got to watch this. She is you. You are her. Because I used to have a fade. I had a fade for the longest. And so she was like, you got to watch this. And it was just a YouTube series. And I was like, that feels like my life. Everything about that feels like me. How could Issa possibly know this? And I've been a fan of Issa Rae ever since. But so, yeah, maybe Issa is what I'm giving. And I don't mind that because also, and Nova is what I aspire. Nova is who I am on the inside. Issa is who y'all see, which is interesting. Gemini.
I can take that. Yeah. Gemini. Your two sides. Do you have, and this is an on the spot question. Everybody says Geminis have two sides. A side that is, that is more often presented. This is the great side, the fun side. And then they have a really, really, really crazy side that sometimes they fail to acknowledge. Do you think you have a like crazy side? Like you think it really goes like dark and off the rocker?
Yeah. And I wouldn't say like, I think that bright sunny side that people see, I think that is my crazy lives there. But the other side that most people don't see is like my introverted side. Don't want to be bothered. Like few people have seen that side of me. Probably my wife is one of the only few people that have seen that side of me, but like that side of me was out today. So I had to turn the other side on for the podcast, but the other, like the dark, broody, cynical, like just side of me.
I like that. I like that your crazy lives on the side that we all see. Like my crazy resides on the part that is very, very reachable.
Yeah, she's right there.
Very surface. She's right
right there. Yeah.
And then the calmer, probably more reserved side is the part that's the other side. That's okay. I like that. And I think that's so realistic for your crazy.
The way my wife described it, because she said it earlier today, she was like, you went in, where'd you go?
Oh.
And it's like, I just go into myself. Yeah.
Okay. So obviously our viewers know you're married. You mentioned your wife. Tell us how you knew, well, one, how long you've been married, And how did you know? Like, what about your wife made you like, hey, that's the one. That's it right there.
So we've been married since November of last year. So November, December, and then 7 months, which is crazy. But I mean, it's not like a long time, but it doesn't feel like 7 months either. It feels like we just did it. But we've been together for 5 years. Yeah, I think this is 5 years. Yeah. And how did I know? I'm a very logical person. Right. So let's say this is that inner me. Like when it comes to romance, I know people feel like the two don't mix, but something as big as choosing who to build a life with requires logic for me. Like, so the first night that we ever spent together, I played that song, I'm gonna make you my wife. Cause you're my, I don't
you were swooning. You were swooning.
But and it was post activities, like that following morning. But I just felt so comfortable with her. So like initially I felt like, okay, I could be with you because I felt like at home. I don't know. I don't know how to describe it in another way. But when it came down to like, you're the one I'm going to marry. Because then, okay, everybody's going to be like, oh my gosh, Cheryl, off of that point. But here's the point that pisses people off. I feel like you can choose to build a life with anybody. Now, you can't just fall in love with anybody, but the idea of, okay, I'm going to commit to this, and commitment is doing what I said I was going to do, even when I don't feel like it. I'm going to commit to this. That's a choice. You choose to do that with somebody.
I agree.
And if you do it only out of romance, I think that is faulty. I don't know. That makes me nervous. You live your life, but that shit make me nervous. But we had seen each other in all of the seasons. Like we've seen each other through job loss. We've seen each other through physical health scares, mental health crises, death, right? With my mom passing, moving, right? We've moved from Virginia to Birmingham and from Birmingham to Atlanta. We did all that together, like all the things that would trigger immense stress. We saw that. I saw that in her. And each time it wasn't easy, but when we went through those things, especially my mom passing, but when we went through those things, we came out better. And it felt like we were doing a stair step. It felt like it was just getting better and better and better. And the shitty moments, absolutely shitty, but we could have chosen to step away in any of those shitty moments. And we didn't. And when we stuck through it and it was hard, we came out of it better. So like we talk about, I'm not Michelle. How old was I 5 years ago? I'm not Michelle 32.1 anymore. And she's not Tamika 25.3, right? Like we have evolved and there are still some things that we're working on. But if past behavior is any indicator of future behavior, we've continued to get better and better and better.
Right.
And so that's how I said, okay, we can get
she's someone you can grow with. And that was important to you.
Because it's like, she matches my effort. There are things that we fuck up all the time, but she continues to put in the effort to try. And she allows me the room to say, that is how I showed up before. Can I show you something different? Can you give me the room to show you something different? And like we do that for each other. There's some people like, this is who I am. Take it or leave it. And I can't be with anybody like that because I'm always changing.
Everybody should be.
Yeah, should be, right? And so, but she gives me the latitude to do that. And I do that for her. So that was how I knew.
Aww. It was still aw.
Oh, shucks.
To that degree. So you're 7 months now. You said, post nuptials. Give me a one-liner or just, give me a one-liner advice on marriage in your experience. If you had to give somebody who was considering being married, or somebody that just got married, and they're like, okay, here we go. What you got for them? Being young.
I mean, I don't know. I just don't know if I'm in a place to do nothing like this. I mean, because ain't no hoe. You know what I mean? Like it's not like it's not hard.
That can be it. That can be the quote. It ain't no hoe.
It ain't no hoe. That's it. That's the quote, because it's like, you know, the marriage for us was like just bringing legalities into it. But when you combine a life with somebody, this person has lived a complete life. And there are a lot of cultural differences between my wife and I, right? Like I'm from the South, she's from Brooklyn. You know, like there's an age gap there. She's 7 years younger than me. She's Panamanian, right? She was born here, but she has like an identity of being Panamanian. Meanwhile, I have an identity of being Black American. There's just some cultural differences there that kind of make things a little wonky sometimes. But yeah, they've had a complete life that is, and you've had a complete life, and y'all trying to do this together. It ain't no hoe. It ain't something to play with. You know what I mean? It ain't
merging lives is deep, baby.
Listen.
And when you're in that thick of the thing, you in the thick of that thing.
Yeah. Into the thick of it. Yeah.
I gave my side of how we met. And you're cracking up. Give us your side. What was going on your end? How you and I met and became friends.
Yeah, so I was newly out of a relationship. So this has to be 2016, 2017, somewhere in between. So I was newly out of a relationship. Like you said, people be like, oh, you a Black lesbian? I know a Black lesbian. Y'all should be together. And so at the time, I was doing the podcast, Hen and Apple Juice. And I was crying, like I was in a whole phase. I was in a whole tation, okay, at that time.
Oh, whole phase.
Yeah.
It's hoeing.
Yeah. Yeah, I was out there. And so, and so I was talking about some of that on the podcast, which you can imagine got me into a lot of trouble. I heard what you said about me on your podcast. I'm like, okay, you know, like, okay. But anyway, so at the time, my co-host was like, this is not on air, I don't think. But anyway, my co-host, Ace Boone, the one who taught me how to DJ, was like, Afton LS, newly single, and she cute too. You like you interested? I was like, yeah, because at this time, again, I'm hoeing. And so I was like, yeah, sure, whatever. And I, like you said, we had a day party. We used to throw day parties. And again, just if you had come to that party, I would have been overwhelmed. I would have hit my max, because it was there were multiple women in that venue that were there for me. And so I was like, but at the same time, here I am, fuck boy. Like, yeah, sure. And so he showed me a picture. I was like, absolutely. Yeah. And so then they was like, we're going to see if we can get her to come up here.
Were you DJing that party?
Here? No.
Oh, okay. You were just throwing it. It was just like a thing.
Yeah, we used to just like, so like the podcast would throw the day parties. And so anybody the podcast. And so, like, because I was like, yeah. So they showed me a picture. I was like, yep, sure, let's do that. And so then they were like, we're gonna see if we can get her to come up here. And then I think that's when he gave me your number. I had text you, but at the same time, I'm already maxed out at this party. Right. And so when I didn't hear from you, Ace Boone was like, dang, like she curved you. I was like, I guess so. I don't know. And so then, went about my party. And so then I think you had texted me that night. It was like, nah, I'm not gonna make it. And I was like, I was
whatever.
Yeah, I was whatever. So I was like, okay, but I definitely was trying to talk to you. And so when you were like giving all this friend energy, I was like, what the fuck? Like, is she available or is she not? And I think you had just moved, because that's when we realized we had both lived on Myrtle.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was definitely trying to talk to you, and then you gave the friend energy, and then that's the same. Whatever summer that was, a season of Game of Thrones came out. And we were talking about Game of Thrones and all this other stuff, and I quickly realized, like, oh, this is a friendship, maybe. And so I think then I moved up to DC, and like we had just been friends, and so when I moved up to DC, shortly after me being there, I met Tamika.
But so boom, following up on that, obviously your name is Dr. Fire. With a spin and a play on Maya Angelou. What's the impact? What's the relationship, admiration? Like, how did Maya Angelou become?
See, you see,
how did she become to be such an inspiration in and out of your life? What?
I read the question and I kept thinking, like, what was the moment? I don't know. I think I decided when I was in 7th grade, after I heard Maya Angelou say that she doesn't use the N-word, to never use the N-word. Like, for some reason, her just talking about it and her saying, like, just whatever she said. And I'm telling you, I'm 13 years old and I'm like, that woman knows the answers. And then the next thing she started talking about, like the next quote I remember hearing was her talking about words being living things, like, and being intentional about how you use words, and that the words get stuck on the walls and they live among you, like the things that you say. And then, so like, again, I'm early teenage. And then I learned, I didn't read I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings, but I knew what the narrative was. I don't know how I knew it, but I knew it was, she was assaulted and she told her brother who assaulted her. And then her family found that guy, and the lore is they killed him. They beat him to death because of what he had done to Maya. And so she thought by saying his name that she had killed him. So she stopped talking for like years. And I thought, dang, you know, without getting too much into my past, but I was like, wow, who is this lady and her infatuation with words? And I knew that I loved reading. I knew that I was a great writer. And I was like, huh. And I would start practicing. This is how, when I think about like how great of a mom I had, I started practicing periods of silence where I would, like, imagine your 14-year-old child saying, I need some time to myself. And so, Mom, I'm not going to be talking for the next 2 weeks. Like,
because no Maya's words. Doing that.
Right. The only time that I would talk is when I had to at school. Like, I was a fucking weird ass child, bro. And so my mom would be like, okay. And I just would not talk. It was head nods and all that stuff. I just started keeping my words to myself.
It is for no reason at all, other than to just practice doing it.
When I was going through stuff, or like when I just got tired, you know, like you're an angsty teenager and I'm like, nobody understands me. And I'm like, fuck it, I'm not talking anymore. They're gonna value what I have to say then, right? Like, think about that now, and what I'm doing now is crazy. But anyway, so then Oprah loved Maya Angelou. Like, I learned quickly about their how they connected, and the first time they met, Oprah was like, I just need 5 minutes of your time. Maya Angelou was like, no. And then Oprah was like, I promise. And then Maya Angelou said, who are you, girl? Right. And she like locked in on Oprah, and they became like what they call like sister, friend, mother, you know, like all those things. And of course, I mentioned last episode, I am in awe and at deep admiration of Oprah. And so I'm thinking, whoever she banged with, I bang with. And then it's just been a thing. But the moment that changed the game for me was Maya Angelou's masterclass. So on OWN, Oprah used to do this series where she would have basically someone tell the story of their life. Masterclass and Super Soul Sunday. I watched Maya Angelou's masterclass and I cried like through the whole thing. I watch it probably at least like once a week. I probably know it verbatim. There's so many things that she says in that particular episode that just like struck a chord. And then I was like, she was an educator, a dancer, a mother at a young age. You know, quiet as kept, she was a little bit of an alcoholic. I'm like, all of these things are very relatable. And at the same time, like, she's just dope as fuck, especially when she got that girl together on that episode of Oprah. When she got that girl together, because I've always carried myself like a 70-year-old Black woman. So when, to this day, if somebody I don't know comes up to me and they're like, hey, Michelle, I'm looking at you sideways, because who are you talking to? That is my first name. Don't take liberties with calling me by my first name.
Mrs. Doctor.
You see what I'm saying?
That's what you can call
anyway, me. It's just, I don't know. It's just like a kinship that's really hard to explain. Like, I'm giving examples of why she resonates, but it's really kind of hard to describe. It just
Do you have heroes? Would she be one of your heroes?
absolutely.
Yeah. Do you have others besides her and Oprah?
I would say my mom to an extent, my grandmother. I think that would probably be about it. In some ways, my wife is my hero. I should probably tell her that. I've never said that to her
That
before.
would be so very nice. If you tell her now, what would you say? Why?
You want me to tell her?
Well, just tell us. We're her right now.
Well, I just think, knowing what she lives with, what she's overcome, what she carries with her on a day-to-day basis, and still being able to show up how she does for herself, for me, for her job, for everybody in her life. It's like, it's some superhero shit. Yeah. It's like really crazy. It's like, and it's hard. I don't think most people will understand it without telling her business, because we hadn't talked about it, whatever I could share. But without telling her business, I don't think a lot of people understand just the weight that some people are carrying with them every day, and they're smiling. And so it's like, you have no idea, you know what I mean? And so when I look at her do that, and then I see the fatigue after doing it so long, I'm like, man, that's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah. But that's probably about
admirable.
It. Yeah.
Admirable though. And it is true that what they say, you don't know what somebody else is dealing with.
You have no idea.
We all have a vice of some sort. What's yours?
I probably watch way too much television.
Yeah.
Way too much television. Like when I'm tired of thinking,
is it good TV or is it mindless TV?
It can be both.
It can be just both. Too much of all of it together.
Yeah. And it's because it's just my time to fucking space out. But I would say probably 2 over the last maybe 5 to 6 years. Let's say 7 years. Like I try not to I try to make sure I don't become like that grayed out person. Somebody who's fucking hot all the time. I try to be that person. But it is like how some people have like their glass of wine at the end of the night. That'd be me. Definitely not functional. I can't do it during the day and be able to do shit.
Same.
I'm not there. And I don't want it to get to that point, because at that point it's not recreational. For me, it's purely recreational.
Yeah. And it's so funny because it's a fine line, because whatever vice you engage in, I'm feeling amazing, feel so inspired. And it would be like, oh, it's so nice if I can get this inspiration 24 hours a day. But I can't do that.
Right. Or find other ways to fucking relax.
Exactly. Okay. So a little glass of wine at the end of the day. Having a little cocktail. Get something, don't worry.
Okay.
What brings you joy?
Oh, music. Music.
Yeah. And like in a world of chaos, like what if it's just like, hey, I got to center myself, or I need to reset myself, or I need to be happy. Music is what's doing it?
Yeah, definitely music.
Listening or DJing?
Listening. But yeah, DJing, like if I don't have to go through the labor of setting it up,
right?
Let's say it's just always set up. Like in my ideal home, it's always set up unless I'm packing it down to go somewhere else.
Right.
But if it wasn't such a labor to put together, I would definitely DJ more often. And yes, absolutely. Because it's like DJing is so interesting because it requires like complete musical intelligence. I don't think a lot of people see it as that, but it's like when I'm DJing and I'm listening to a song, to be able to find a song to blend into that, or that could easily follow, I have to go through all of the music that I know in my mind. I have to listen to the tempo. I'm listening to the beat, because I can't do the song that you're expecting.
Right.
I can't
you got to do something off the wall. You got to be creative with it.
Yeah, I got to do something that's going to make you say, wow.
Right. Because we all know that when she's like, when Missy gives you, we will mix it with Biggie, you was all a dream. And then you just, inevitably do that. I got you.
Like there's some ones that are just so easy. And you'll be like, okay. Yeah. Like Frankie Beverly and Maze, Before I Let Go. Beyonce, Before I Let Go.
Yeah.
Like, at this point, you hear Frankie Beverly Maze,
Beyonce's
coming in. Right. So it's like being able to, so that, I don't know.
What's the most unique mix you think you've ever done, or one of the ones that you feel like, I killed that joint?
Oh, one time I did Tonight by FUN or Fun. And
that
yeah, and I think
I always call that We Are Young.
It's called We Are Young. You're
Okay.
right. But
Nice.
We Are Young and Legend by Drake.
Okay, so our viewers know, and you've mentioned it a couple times, that you have more recently your mother's moved on, passed on. What is one thing that you either have done or hope to accomplish? If you haven't already, just like a specific thing that you know would make her proud, something that she either wanted for you or you wanted, like to make sure that, happened for her or in her memory, in her honor.
Yeah, I definitely needed to finish school before she like that was a thing. That was a thing. Like I really put my body through a lot of stress to write my dissertation. Like not even just a dissertation, like sometimes doubling up on courses, like taking like going into course overload so that I could finish coursework, get to dissertation writing. And every time they'd be like, okay, Michelle, like, and I'm like, I gotta defend by this time. And I think somewhere she wasn't diagnosed until I think I was in dissertation writing. Right, like early into that phase. And so it was like, I gotta finish this. First it was I need to finish by 30. And then it became, I gotta finish this before like I lose my mind. Like, she has to see me do this. That's what I would say, a thing that I was like, I gotta do. Is that the thing that she was most proud of? Probably not. I mean, not that she wasn't proud of.
Right. But it was like she would have been fine either way.
Yeah, like, you know what I mean? I think she was proud probably that I was able to so comfortable with leaving Atlanta, like, and being independent. So like I moved to Savannah and then I went to Orlando and then Virginia and then back to Atlanta and then to Virginia and then Birmingham. Like her being able to see me feel comfortable and successfully move and settle and make new friends in each environment and all that stuff. I think she would be proud of that. But I had to finish that degree before. I had to.
It's so funny because I remember you kind of like going in like grind mode to like get it done, and I never even knew why or thought about why. And that's really dope.
Especially once she was diagnosed. I mean, like she was. It was one of those things where it was like, I got to do this. I got to do this, and because I knew if I had done it, similar to being married, like it really sucked getting married and not having my mom there. So it was like, I need her to see me do one of these big things in my life. And I did it with like a year to spare. So it was like, it was cool.
That's really dope. And I'm sure she was, like you said, I'm sure she was proud and before and after. What is all of your degrees in?
So my bachelor's.
She's so decorated.
Just a little bit. But no, my bachelor's degree is in business marketing. So I did undergrad, and then my master's is in higher education admin. So basically like working on a college campus, running a university. And then my doctorate I have a doctorate of education. A lot of people think I have a PhD because that's the number one doctorate you think about. But I have a doctorate of education, so an EDD in curriculum studies, which is basically like, how do we come to know things? Who decides? Who knows what? How do we build curriculum? Who makes those choices? And how do people learn? Like basically that's what the doctorate is in. So yeah, those are my degrees.
You using them?
Yeah, absolutely. It's working in higher education. Marketing is everything, right? Like my first career was in marketing, and I decided I was going to go back to school with the intention of teaching in marketing. And I did not do well in an MBA program at all. And I had an internship in student affairs, and my mentor at the time was like, you can do this for a living. We got a whole degree here at Georgia Southern where you can study what you are doing because you're so good at that. And I was like, what? And I changed my major. And but yeah, so I definitely use marketing in everything. Instagram, DJing, the podcast, all of that.
Right. Do you feel like, because you really are, I feel like you're using like each one of them. Give us a little bit about like what you do currently, like for work, like your actual day job.
Yeah, so I guess I am a diversity, equity, and inclusion professional, right? So I've been working in that area for about 10 years. Basically, like when everything that DeSantis is against, that's what I do, or what he claims we do, right? So the idea is that I work on a university's campus, and I am the director of diversity education. So basically, all of the trainings for people think I work with students, and I do not, like at all. So I do like all of the professional trainings for faculty, staff, and admin at the university on topics of diversity. So that's everything LGBTQ related, like what are pronouns? What does it mean when someone says they're pansexual? Why are students telling you that they have a new chosen name? Unconscious bias for everybody. The basics of understanding cultural diversity. Like when I say that, like my wife and I come from two different cultures, like navigating a space where I can respect her culture and acknowledge my culture as well. And that really comes a lot when we're blending families, right? These cultural differences. But so basically, I am someone who offers education, consultation, data analysis, data collection, all on the idea of making environments, spaces, universities, jobs more inclusive. So they just stop saying, oh, if you got visible tattoos, that's not professional attire. Or if you have colorful hair, or if you got natural hair, you're a Black woman, and someone's saying, ooh, when are you going to straighten your hair? Right? Like when someone says you need some motherfucking training, they send those people to me. Right? When you have those type of issues in the workplace, when faculty members, we
all hate them.
Yeah. When faculty members intentionally misgender a student, when a dean tells someone that they're interviewing, they ask a woman, like, does your husband know that you're applying for this job? And they say, you know what?
You should probably go see Michelle.
You should probably go talk to Dr. Allen, right? That kind of thing. It's not good for people to use what I do in a punitive way, because that's what creates this climate of, I don't want to be told what to do, and people can't say anything anymore. People are so sensitive when you offer like diversity, equity, and inclusion as a punishment.
Right.
Of course, everybody's going to look at it like, fuck that shit.
That's why people are like wanting on the front end. It's just like, yeah, we need to get these trainings. So last question. Well, I got two more and then you can wrap. Okay. So obviously you're married, happily married now, whatever. But there was a time where, as you said, you was outside. You was outside. Outside was the address and you were there.
Permanent residence.
Your permanent residence. What would you say if you had to build her? You know what? You can pick. I want you to pick from the celebrities that we know, a woman that is your type physically. So you're gonna build her. We're playing build the bitch. Physically and mentally. Give me who she is. So she presents as who and looks like who, and she's your.
Okay.
And we can do this both on both sides of the spectrum there.
Because I too dabble.
I'd
be like bisexual and shit.
You be like both.
But if I had to break it
like down, both on.
Both of she. Okay. But but if I had to, like, using my DEI vernacular, I would say that I am homo-romantic.
Oh, good. Oh, good.
Bisexual.
Oh, good. Homo what? Homo. I'm acting like my mama. She said she's a what now? Homosexual. Homo-romantic.
I'm not gonna say homo no more.
Okay.
Homo-romantic. I just said it again. And bisexual.
And those two aren't the same.
No, because one is my romantic orientation, and the other is my sexual orientation.
Your homo-romantic means that you only be romancing with women. I put that together myself.
Yeah, you did.
Homo-romantic. So you don't like romancing men.
it's not right there on the surface.
Do you like to be romanced by men?
It's cool, but I prefer being romanced by women.
Because you homo romance. And when you're bisexual, mean that you like sexualing both sides.
Yes.
Okay. And you are also sissy.
What?
Cisgender. Sissy. Cis woman.
I am a cisgender woman. Yes.
Yes. Cisgender, not to be confused with transgender.
Exactly.
Neutrogena. Okay. Yes. You are not Neutrogena. You are cisgender.
Oh, yes. Gender neutral? Is that what you're trying?
Yes. You no, gender neutral.
I'm not gender neutral.
You a cis
woman. I might be gender queer, but I'm not gender neutral.
And gender queer means?
I perform gender in a different way. So gender is a social construct.
Do you and your wife have gender roles?
We really don't. She is femme presenting. But like outwardly when she's out in the world, but in this house she walk around here like a big dick stud. And
she has on what? I want everybody to learn something here today. We are here with Dr. Andrew, with Dr. Fire D. Now she gonna teach us a few things, and I want everybody, because on this show we respect everybody, just so you know, so y'all gonna get these terms right, just like me. Now her wife has a walks around her home with what on now?
No, she don't. She'll have, it's the energy.
Oh, energy, big dick energy. I have that. Okay, I have that now. But I don't got nothing else. I understand that. Okay. So we did understand that about you. I'm going to try to run it again.
Something is wrong with you.
No, it's no problem. I want to run it again so that our viewers know, because this is what this is, knowing about us. You are homo-romantic, bisexual, cisgender woman, gender queer with a wife. Yes. All right. Now build her. What she look like?
So okay. She looks like
and so you don't get in no trouble or anything like that. This is if your wife just wasn't a thing right now. We know if you could build her ideally, she'll look just like what's over there in your back room.
Yeah.
But if that won't the case, come on.
She looks like Tiana Perry. She was on WandaVision. She was also on Survivor's Remorse.
Yeah. I don't know what I thought her name was. She looked like her. Yeah, y'all looked up Tiana Perry, so we're gonna put that here. Boom, looks like this. Presents like what?
Antoinette from Around the Way Curls.
Why you do that? Why you do that right then? Why you do that? Why you do that? Look to the side. Why you do that? Look to the side with that little it was a little demon time. It is late. My God. Is there something that you wanted to say to her? You're not doing that. We're not doing that on here.
No, okay.
But all right, she looked like
Around the Way Curls, and she also is, but she could also look like Antoinette too. I just prefer darker skinned women, with more like distinctly black features. So high cheekbones, full lips, broader nose, but darker skinned. And typically natural hair. Like it's just a thing. There's so many other women I can name in the same vein. But you know, like Tiana Perry is up there. But yeah, something about that Antoinette. She's she's something.
Put them there for anything. Okay, you want to build on the other side, or since you're not a homo-romancing?
Yeah, it's just who. Yes. So prior to Jonathan Majors,
I got. You just wanted to get it out.
Just
prior, that's what I'm going to do.
Just say it. So
you like wild raw. That's what you like, wildness. We just talked about not having no hairline. You talking about you like firm, black presenting and wide nose, high cheekbones, just craziness. You like.
Yeah. And then, okay, I don't know his name. I did start following him, but so did you watch Being Mary Jane?
Mm-hmm.
The football player that she would sleep with? Mm-hmm. Yes, Thomas Q. Jones.
Oh. Let me tell you something. Now, let me explain something. Okay, so wait. I said who the fellas is. Give me your name. What's his name? So you like
Thomas Q.
Tiana
Jones
and Anthony. Okay, for the fellas, you like Thomas Q. Jones.
Yep.
And I want to have a conversation with you because you know when you tell them, you know, you're going to be that way to tell you're going through a phase in life.
And hold on, I got one more person to add before you say this. No, Trevante Rhodes.
Let me make sure.
Rhodes.
Trevante Rhodes. No. Trevante Rhodes is cute.
Okay.
I need you to look up and tell me how you feel about him. To look up Bokeem Woodbine.
Absolutely the fuck not. I don't need to look him up at all. You think Thomas Q. Jones look like Bokeem Woodbine?
I don't.
I was about to say, if you lost your mind,
Woodbine, trying to throw you. But first of all, when I was at the very young age, Jason's lyric came out.
It was way too much fucking in that movie. There was way too much fucking in that movie.
Maybe it was, but somehow Bokeem Woodbine slipped into my interest. I don't know if it was getting out of prison. I don't know if it was the go-to. But when it came out, I got flustered. And I remember because I was watching it. And I probably won't supposed to be watching, but I was watching with my parents. So it was before they didn't know it was going to be fucking.
You like wild.
Apparently at that age. I don't today. But he came out and I was just like, Lord, he just going to keep sweating this whole movie, ain't he? He just going to stay moist. He came out and was like, yeah. I was just like, Joshua, man. Just like, Lord Josh, he keep having guns. Lord, he gonna rob everybody. He's so dangerous. And he had that go to me. He was fucking pushing lyric. I was just like, Mom, I'm gonna go to my room.
I was about to say something, but
it was just a lot going on. Jada was already a thing, baby. That's how I knew. I was caught in between a rock and several hard places.
Leave alone.
Oh, yeah. Oof. That was already, no, Jada did it before Nia Long for me because Low Down Dirty Shame that came out. And I was like, who is this little bundle of fire? And then when Jason's lyric came out and she was talking about footprints next across the sky, and Jason had it, and I was just like, Lord, he just gonna throw her on that counter that away. And then right after that, Woodbine. And then my family would say, because I had said it, I was like, I like him. And my mama even tried. That's how you know. Because I was like, why wasn't it just an automatic go to your room? And I was like, ooh, I like him. I'm talking some what? Look at him pointing at Jason. You don't like him? Me. My sister told me, yeah, that's how I knew you was gay. You didn't know what to do. All them options you had on the screen, and you had Bokeem Woodbine over there, you flustered. Bitch, go to your room. You don't know what to do. Now they tap you on your shoulder when you don't make the cut. Go ahead, you can step out. Go ahead and step you out. Because what the hell? My mom was meet you. It really became, I was like, yeah, I don't want to watch the movie with y'all anymore. Come here. Look at him on the screen with the curly hair. Now, do you not like him? Me. Do they want that yelling nigga? No, man. Now look at it now, like it's a lineup. We'll point out who you like. Him. And it was Bokeem Woodbine with that 40. Bad decision. Should have known from then I was gonna have bad decision. He got that. He have that juice in his hand. And he keeps sweating. That one. Jesus Christ. Lord, we thank you for growth and we thank you for change.
Never forgive you this.
Well, it's the truth. It's my truth. I don't care. I'm not ashamed of it. Yeah. Wow. And she kept on. She kept pushing. Come here. Look at him. Look at Jason. I was looking like, bitch. Look at him and now look at him. Now, which one of them you like? Him, bitch. Him. The one with the juice. Yeah. At least it won't stretch.
It should have been.
It wasn't. It wasn't. It should have been Jason. I couldn't get. Come on now, Tress with them plaits.
Yeah,
give me some grace. And he had a relaxer.
Okay, yeah, he did.
He
did with the little colorful rubber bands.
It was very thin.
Okay,
there was a lot going on. I was just like, I don't want that for sure. He looked like the girl in my class who we talk about with the little barrettes. I don't want her. I like Bookie, and I like Jada, and I feel spicy. All right. You're going to take us out of here? I want you to give me your favorite of all time Black quote. Give us something to live by. Something you live your life by. What the old folks said, it just resonates with you and takes you on home.
This is, okay, so there's one that's my favorite, and then there's one that I'm introducing as I become a seasoned auntie.
Come on.
So
give me the favorite.
My favorite is a watch pot don't boil.
Every time. A watch pot won't boil on you. It won't boil.
Yeah. But
what's that other one?
Adding, just when I leave people now, I say, you take good care now. and or be good.
Yeah.
Or if it's somebody younger than me, be sweet.
Be sweet.
It's what I have added. So I leave people. I'm like, all right, y'all take good care now. Be sweet now. And it feels like home. I feel like I'm just settling into myself. And so
you know what's funny? I use be sweet as a sarcasm. Almost like
somebody, and I meant it sincerely. God bless your heart. And y'all,
wow.
The BuzzFeed done taught y'all that the gays use it as an insult. I'm using it in the way that your great grandmother would have said.
Bless your heart.
Yeah, like because you done did, because you rubbed her feet or whatever.
Yeah, I use be sweet, like you would use you straight, or I'm straight.
It's a question. Okay.
You know what I mean? No, really, I'm saying I use, you know, you'd be like, yo, nah, you straight, you good. So I'd be like, nah, you be sweet now. You be so good and so sweet.
Like keep
it. Yeah, like be sweet kind of thing.
You remember you told me you was gonna bring it back, bout it.
Why you gonna try to announce it here? Did I say I was ready to bring it back? Because now you're not making it cool.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I said I was. You're not about it. You really not. And I can tell by why you said it. You're not about it. You're not about it. No. About it.
This has been a wang dang doodle.
That's it. You gonna stop saying oh shit.
No, I ain't. This has been a wang dang doodle.
It has been a wang dang doodle.
I am none other than Fire Angelou. You can find me on social media at FIYAANGELOU. And where can they find you, Michi?
Oh yeah, y'all can find me everywhere that you look on at Michi Davis, METCHIE Davis. If you got some stuff you want to reply to, if you like what you heard, if you like, I love y'all so much, you just want to say it, please comment it. Yeah, please tell us, comment it. Write us, subscribe, like, share, all of the things. Leave us comments, leave us reviews, and email us at facts.feelings.pod@gmail.com. We would love to hear from you. We appreciate y'all listening. Y'all showing us lots of love. We love it. We feel it. We receive it. Keep it going. We have listeners. We have some listeners outside from around the country.
We sure do. I seen it.
Yeah, I seen that. I said, okay, what y'all doing over there in the UK? It's because y'all up over there at the Beyonce concerts. Because we had some from Sweden, and I think we had some Sweden people. Some people go over there in the first round of the concert. What? That's what they were doing.
You be using your mind.
I was like, damn. Because who was over to meet us? We not even breaking the Dutch. We not even doing that. So how the hell did they even listen? I was like, you know what? It seems like we got listeners every fuck where Beyonce going right now.
What don't we do?
Breakers the Dutch. That's how you say speak Dutch. We don't even breakers the Dutch in this.
Okay.
We love y'all.
We out. Tap, 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 tap. Stop. What?
Bruh, you know, in the grass scene, when they were sitting on the grass and they did that spin around, they did the 360 cam, and they don't even look like Jada. She went from like Jada's little caramel complexion to like Bokeem Woodbine.
How the fuck you know what Jada look like?
Why don't you know? You weren't. That's how you see. You weren't all the way in yet. I was locked in on Jada. That one it. They did a little thing that it looked like a body double. They was doing like a 360, and I was like, "What the fuck is that?"
Do everybody know this? Because
everybody knows this. You can actively see where she changes, and it looked like it's her, and they spin the camera, and then it turned around. I don't know. It's the side. I don't think she wanted the side of her titty to show, because they actually show a titty, so it's not hers. It's not her titty. That's not her titty. It's probably Janelle. Probably Janelle Monáe. All I know is listen to me. Just listen to me. When they get in that motherfucking record store and he slide all that shit off that counter, off that register, my life changed. On that day, I was like, oh my God. Listen.
I go put on Jason's lyric now.
You got to. I'm gonna put it right there. I'm spitting numbers. That's point for kids. That's point. Ain't no, because you can go find your parents' tapes and all of that, and that's fine. That's real life porn. Some of the movies.
It's Bokeem Woodbine. Stop talking about this man like he is the finest man.
Well, that was Jason in that scene.
Oh, Jason did that.
Hell yeah, with Jada when they went in the record store and it was like raining outside and he opened the TV store because it wasn't a record store.
I'm about to go watch it again right now.
You ain't watched it enough. You didn't. And Jason set on top of that thing, and then the back of his booty was showing, and he was doing
he was thrusting
her on top of that register, and I was like, oh God. I didn't know something like that. Where is he? At this point, I don't even know if I had a full concept of exactly what it was. Where is he putting?
Where is he?
Where is it? What is happening? All I know is
you liked it.
I'm locked in. I'm sweating a little bit. I'm moist.
Hey man, I'll talk to you later. I can't do this with you.
You know that's what you when you little. When you a little kid, you don't masturbate. Nobody knows about masturbating. You're not rubbing no beat. You get you a pillow. And I had that on that motherfucker like a Jack Russell bitch. And cock a thing. Then I ain't even big. I've been small for a long time. I'm small in stature. So it looked like it probably supposed to be a full body pregnancy pillow. I'm just all the way on top of this bitch. But I'm just regular. It's a regular pillow.
Imagine somebody walked in and saw you. How would you play that off?
I don't know. Because I have to think about it as a young Meech. I can't think about it as Meech now. Meech now, get your ass. Get out. I'm working. Look, I'm in here. I'm working on something. I'm working on something for the podcast. Kind of podcast y'all doing? Yeah, I don't know what I would have did. I don't know what I would have did. If my mama ever would have walked on me with them little fucking flower drawers down and hunching the little soggy ass flower drawers. The little soggy ass flower drawers. Little pissy drawers. Getting that pillow to work. Shoulders just working.
Get off my shit. Get off my
I'd have been like, Mom was dancing. It was a dance. Oh, stop, I was dancing. Oh, what would have did? I'd have played opposite. It was a dance. Mama, I was dancing like Uncle Luke.
Why your drawers there?
Because this is what the girls was doing Uncle Luke video. Somebody asked us our Uncle Luke video. I just would have said that and had to play. Then she would just stop me from watching music videos. I don't know, but it was a dance.
She wouldn't have stopped you from watching Jason's lyric, though.
She wouldn't have stopped me from watching Jason's lyric. She just got shit to do with it. Mom's a dance, please. Please, Mama.
It's stupid ass face. That
because you're just fucking humiliated. And I need you to, that's when you really need somebody to just believe the lie. If somebody ever give me this face while they lying, you just gotta roll with it for their sake. Because they gonna crumble if you don't. Listen to me, I was dancing. Mama, I was a dance. Okay. For context though, this was happening. I was not 14, 13. I was like 7, 8.
I know.